I like how the Watchdogs defeated the National Archives guards. Did you pick that up? It's like,
Yes.
oh my goodness, watch out, National Archives guards.
Who else defeated the National Archives guards by himself? Nicolas Cage.
Here we go again. Welcome back, everybody, to Comic Books and Cold Ones. Normally, we are the beer podcast with a comic book problem, but today we are a special show. We are an oral web show where we debate all things graphic novels and imbibe all things barley brews. I am joined, he's going to have two nicknames today, joined by Skimyak. God, I can't say that. Sky you made the most difficult one ever. Sky Myakiras for some carrier. I guess it's great. All right. I hate you sometimes. Tongue twisters at the beginning, but you are Sir Yexington, man of Comic Sans letters for our special Masterpiece Comics Theater episode. How are you today, good man?
Up, Lord K. Mackworth, the second of Lincolnshire. Welcome. I'm doing well, and I am pumped to talk to you again and sit around and enjoy some barley brews and delve into the depths of fine storytelling in the pictorial tradition that we do here on Masterpiece Comic Books Theater.
Yes.
Assassinate a Nation plot. I could never do this. Even as a kid, when I read the story, I can never say the name right. Assassination plot. Because I want to do it all one word. Assassination plot, right?
Right. And
not assassination plot.
Yeah, you're a fast talker, so that's yes. Hard for you. Just like Skimyakaira is hard for me.
Skimyakaria. It's written right there. Skimyakaria.
Sure it is.
Do go back and do your fucking phonics, man.
I will. I gotta practice my phonics.
Hook on that stuff. Well, welcome everybody. We are pumped to hear you and have you or see you or whatever we don't do. Actually, none of those things we do, but we're here to talk to you.
Yes. And we're happy to have you listen, maybe at some time in the future.
And if you like what you're about to hear, you can email us at cbcopodcast@gmail.com. Hit up us at Twitter at cbco_podcast, or like all our pictures that we'll post with our fancy beers today on comicbooks_cold ones on Instagram. And this is one of our favorite shows to do, where we actually talk about a popular, not necessarily not popular, but a really, really well-written comic book series that you may have not read before, that we really, really liked, and hopefully we introduce you to it. And we'll go over why we like the comic while drinking some of the fanciest of beers in fancy formats, which we'd also like you to try if you can find them and drink them.
Yes, and we do this because we are very generous. We are upper class and generous.
As part of the gentry, this is our giving back to the communities.
Yes.
Speaking of which, what lowly town do we have that we want to enrich today with a shout out while they're listening in?
Hear ye. All of you peasants in North Bay, Ontario, thank you very much for downloading our last episode. We really appreciate it. Listen up and learn something.
On the shores of Lake Nipissing. Did I say that right?
Why are you asking?
Nipissing. Sorry, Lake Nipissing. Yeah. The northeast shores of Lake Nipissing, in Ontario, known for being an important military location during the Cold War.
Yeah, and it is. This is pretty. The site of North Bay is part of the historic canoe route where Samuel de Champlain took a party up the Ottawa River, up through present-day Mattawa to Trout Lake. Interesting.
I wonder how many of his buddies call him Champagne instead. You know, no, it's Champlain. He's like, no, it's better if we call you Champagne.
Yeah, they don't call him Champ.
No.
Now there is, so we've done comic books and cryptids before. There is the Legend of the Lake Champlain monster. Have you heard that one?
It is named Champy.
It is named Champy.
I wonder if he's ever made it up to Lake Nipissing.
What's the Lake Nipissing monster called? Nippy?
Nippy.
Nippy.
Of course it's Nippy.
Nippy.
There's got to be a Nippy, right?
Of course there is.
And anyone outstanding that we might know from North Bay, Ontario. Here, let's see here. I'm going to assume a lot of hockey players because it
Probably.
probably gets really, really cold, and there's a lot of skating going on. So that's just my guess, and I'm seeing a lot guys that I don't know, but a lot of former hockey players, like
Yeah.
the King Geezer brothers, Gordon and Sheldon.
Gordon. Oh, Gordy and Sheldon. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Surprisingly, for such a small place, there's a good number of people who apparently are well known.
Oh man, Harvey Trotters, 1936 Olympics medalist, silver medalist, and then the canoeing.
Nice.
That'll get you an elementary school named after you right there.
Mm-hmm.
I assume.
It must. Yeah. or at least like some kind of sports field or something. Or what was the medal in?
Canoeing.
Oh, maybe a portion of a river.
Portion of
Yeah.
like a backwater oxbow lake of
Like a
something.
tributary into the lake.
Yes. But I would assume that they do have a lot of good looking breweries: Wildwoods Brewing, Gateway City Brewing, New Ontario Brewing, and of course I assume there's a Bay Brewing Center, Cecil's Brew House. So yeah, I think we may have to do this when it may be like July, when it might actually be warm.
Yeah, maybe.
Just up there near Huron. You know, they got a good fish fry there on a Friday.
Oh, that's what it's about.
Oh, you know,
Boot
sorry I
the
didn't
fish
hear you
fry.
about that. What it was about?
Yeah, boot.
But I'm not seeing anyone too that jumps out at me.
No, me either.
There's got to be somebody super famous. It's a
You would
decent sized
think.
town.
Yeah. Many famous people from North Bay, Ontario, including actors, musicians, and politicians.
Well, there's somebody named Kirsten Boast, who researches ancient DNA. None of that modern shit.
No, we don't modern DNA.
Go F yourself. I'm only doing the ancient stuff.
Oh, someone named Brendan Burke, who was in the movie The Trial of the Chicago Seven in 2020, is from that town.
Okay. This is the most current player that
Hooray!
we
We did
personally know.
it. We did it.
A lot of hockey players that I don't know, but I would assume. Hey, there's one hockey player. Oh no, there's a head coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That's CFL there, eh?
All right.
Yeah. And former player.
Hooray! All right. Did you bring a beer, sir?
Oh, of course I did.
Nice.
And as customary for a Masterpiece Comics Theater, this is a fancy format beer.
Nice.
And I do have one that is a propos to the assassination plot, where we are looking at the attempted overthrow of Simcaria, with the killings of kings and queens and all the intrigue of court rituals. And so for this one, I have a local beer brewery. Wright Proper makes a fancy format, 500 milliliter bottle, aptly known as Baron Corvo.
Oh, cool. Nice.
That is a Fodor aged rustic beer de garde ale. This Baroque beer was fermented in one of our large French oak Fodors with our house mixed culture of wild yeast. We use a Solera blending process in which new beer is blended in the Fodor with aged beer to recreate sturdy house character. Amber hued and vinous. The beer is our tribute to traditional Bière du Gardes. So Bière du Garde is a Belgian style, French style beer. I believe it means beer of the garden, if I remember right.
What is its name again?
Baron Corvo is the name of the beer. So let me see. Somebody in Quebec living in North Bay could tell us what beer de garde means.
They sure could.
Beer to keep, yeah, guard to keep hold, yeah, guard. Like in our, so it's an aging beer.
Nice. And you said it was a Belgian?
It's a Belgian style, country style beer, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And what do you have in your fancy one? I know you always struggle with getting fancy beers.
I do. So I wouldn't say my beer is kind of fancy, but My beer is more of, rather than fancy, it's more of a masterpiece beer. So my beer won the gold medal in the 2024 World Beer Cup. So I went with prestige.
Okay.
There comes fanciness with that. And my beer is a Czech style Pilsner. So we have the Eastern European influence,
Mm-hmm.
which, goes with the show. It comes in, and it comes in at 4.7% ABV with IBUs of 37. The beer is called Bublina, and it is brewed by Barry House, which is mostly a German style brewery in South Tampa. However, they just recently opened a tap house like 15 minutes from my house.
Whoa,
Another
I
one.
did not
So
know this.
it opened up in October.
Did you go for Oktoberfest?
I did not. I found out it was opening like before we did our Transformers show. I didn't know when, and then I was
You
out of
you
town, and then I came back.
you host a show on beer, and you didn't know about the biggest brewery opening in October that would celebrate Oktoberfest that's close to your house within 15 minutes.
Correct. I did not know.
I don't think you're committed to the show anymore.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Next year I will do better. I will set an alarm on my phone right now for next year. So the beer summary of this, it says Czech style pilsner decorated to perfection, or what? That's not decorated. What is that word? Decocted to perfection, and gold medal winner
Mm-hmm.
of the 2024 World Beer Cup in the Bohemian Pilsner category. Thick portions of Moravian malt and plentiful Saaz hops impart the authentic Bohemian flavor. Bublina means bubbles in Czech. This beer is best experienced in house from our Czech side pull faucets in tubener tankards. Sweet. What is a tubener tankard?
I don't know, but yeah, decoction is a popular method in brewing certain beers. Brewing
Mhm.
decoction mashing is the traditional method where a portion of the mash is removed into a separate vessel, boiled for time, and then returned to the main mash, raising the mash to the next temperature step.
Sweet.
Hmm. And I think it helps to make it more bubbly, but
Mm.
I
That
don't
would
know
make
for certain.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't had this on tap yet, so that will be my next venture.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you ready to try it? Not on tap.
I sure am. I wish I had the proper like German beer glass for this,
Not
but
a
I don't.
Stein, but the glass mug. They have a different name for it, but you could have a Stein also.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have that because it's a Czech Pilsner.
Yeah.
So you would have a Czech Pilsner glass, which looks kind of acorny and
Yeah.
round and
Yeah.
stout. Yep.
Yeah, I don't have one of those.
Well, you're just wasting your time then.
I know. This beer
We
is
could
going to
just stop the
suck.
podcast right now.
Oh, I failed on so many levels.
All right, cracking it open. You can smell the four-door aging right immediately. It has a
Oh yeah.
woody smell. If I don't know if you've ever had a four-door beer, but yeah, it's a woody, and you can
I think
smell the
I have.
wild yeasty things going on with it. So Wright Proper's known. You visited with me. They're known for making
Yep.
wild ales. Their traditional Belgian farmhouse type ales.
And Wright Proper is the one. It's in town there, correct?
Yeah, there's a brew pub, and then there's the barrel room, tap room, also their actual brewing space. We went to the brew pub, the original part. They're also known for having a cheese selection because they bring in special cheeses.
Oh, sweet.
And the guy that when I first came here a number of years ago, the guy that started that, they had a picture of him with a halo of cheese, and they called him Cheesus
Oh, that's the
when he would cut
best.
the cheese for you.
Yeah. I like that place. That's a cool place. I
Yeah,
have the sticker on my beer fridge.
yeah. And next time you come up, we'll go to the barrel room, tap room. Cheers.
This is a good beer. Very pilsnery, bubbly.
Is it crisp hopped? Funky
Yeah,
hop? What's
it's
up?
it
Yeah,
it it yeah. That I like the first description you used, but I can definitely taste the maltiness as well.
yeah. Is it effervescing too in the glass?
Yes, sir.
I can see bubbles.
Eff-
Bubblina.
Effervescing.
Mine is, ambery in taste. It's got the funk of the wild yeast and the photo aging. You can definitely smell it, and it tastes really good. 7% is kind of hidden in the ABV, but you could tell if you had a lot of it, sitting on a nice fall day, it would catch up on you pretty quickly. Oh, it's good
Nice.
and tart. The white yeast makes it, right on the nose, tart. And it makes me feel like I am in old Simcaria, the neighboring nation to Latveria, which we already covered recently on a podcast. And so we're turning it around with our Masterpiece Comics Theater to delve into a tale that we, as youths, read and really, really liked. And so we're coming back to it to share it with you, and that is Assassination Plot.
There you go. You got it. Yeah, we wanted to, like you said, we read this when we were kids, taking in all the Todd McFarlane art greatness, and we were curious, how does it hold up? Does its reality match our memory? Yeah, and so this story is from Amazing Spider-Man issues 320 to 325 and ran from May of 1989 to August 1989. And it's cool when, this is the time where they really didn't have self-contained stories in comic books like this. There wasn't really this series parts 1 through 6 within another series. I mean, it happened, but it was a rare occasion.
This is when they were kicking off at Marvel their, banner series with, each comic had its own series, for a limited miniseries, and they came up with special banners at the top. We talked about the Bloodstone Hunt on here. That was similar time period, and
Yes.
Captain America. There was also Masterpieces Comic Theater, so that's the reason we kind of like these.
Yeah, it's right around the Extinction Agenda in the X-Men books too.
Yeah. And according to Comic Books Review, this is the one that kicked off the idea of a Summix Comic Blockbuster. We've already talked about, the annual series that they did to sell more comics, but this was the equivalent of a movie blockbuster that released, and this was Marvel's. They released them bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks as a kid, you would get a comic book on this, which was amazing. And they were debating whether they wanted to do like Marvel Presents or something, and they went to one of their distributors at the time, and they came up with the idea that it was Curtis Circulation Company. They're like, hey, just do your most popular 2 books with your bi-weekly this to sell more. And what we love it, and that time was Amazing Spider-Man because it was being drawn by Todd McFarlane, and the other one was X-Men.
Yeah, like this was one of the big books, yes. If not probably the second biggest book being released at the time.
And at the time as kids, when McFarlane started drawing, it was probably, it's like the Industrial Revolution getting kicked off in comic books, in terms of comic book sales, where they had always been kind of steady state and you could follow them, but the numbers just went through the roof, and you had all the other people along with them, with Jim Lee, Erik Larsen, Silvestri, all these people becoming more than just comic book artists, being more pop culture, not still nerd icons, but somebody heard about them other than just the nerds.
Yeah, and you had at this point too where the artists were becoming more powerful in the industry than the writers. Yes. And that's like the first time, that really flipped over on its head, really. But this came out around the same time as the Atlantis Attacks series as well. I think they were both the summer of 1989. So Marvel just went into full gear with summer blockbusters this year. But I think this started first because it started in May.
Yes. And it was bi-weekly, whereas the other ones were all the annuals, kind of tying things together.
Remember when they were bi-weekly? Every 2 weeks you get some Spider-Man, you get some X-Men.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was uncanny.
Because I would go to the store and get my books just all as one dump, and then I'd get 2 books in a month, and I'm like, oh, this is the awesomest thing ever. And at the time, this was written by Dave Michelinie. He does all the series. McFarlane does all the art except for issue 324, where Erik Larsen, who also became a very famous Spider-Man artist, took over for 324.
Yep.
Al Gordon did the ink on that. McFarlane does all his own ink on everything else. Letter is Rick Palmer, and then we have a variety of colorists, and Bob Sharen, Gregory Wright, Mark Chiarrello, and John Wilcox. The editor was, how do I say his name? Jim Salicrup.
Salicrup. Yep.
Salicrup. And of course, editor-in-chief at the time, Tom DeFalco.
Brings back good memories reading these books.
Yes.
So did you have this series?
I did not. This is right before I started collecting Amazing Spider-Man. I
Oh,
got all the Erik Larsen's ones. I missed out on the McFarlane ones.
gotcha.
And they had already gone through the roof in terms of buying back issues
Yeah,
from
I
McFarlane.
luckily, I had been buying here and there, and this is, I was collecting when I lived in New York, and then we moved to Florida, and I wasn't really collecting, but then we were at a gas station. It was a Cumberland Farms, right? And they had a spinner rack at the gas station, and on that spinner rack was Amazing Spider-Man 317, where Spider-Man's on the cover and like he has the Venom suit attacking him, and it's all coming in from all directions. And I saw that and I was like, oh man. So I started buying Amazing Spider-Man with issue 317, and that's kind of what got me back into collecting comics. Do that, and there was like an X-Men issue that I bought.
Did you say "oh man" or did you say "oh man, that's awesome"?
Oh man, this is great. Mom,
Sweet that.
mom, can I get this? I don't want a candy bar.
I'll skip over my
I don't want my
my
M&Ms.
icy. Just get mad. That's my 317.
But that gas station was the only place in town that sold comic books. And then we realized later that when we went to the mall, there was like a Walden Books, and they had comic books there. So that was easier, but still not as easy as when the comic book store finally opened.
So you didn't have a real old school mine was always the drugstore, and we had an independent grocery store. They were next door to each other, so I could walk between the two. And the drugstore had the spinner rack. The other one had the stand up rack next to all the magazines.
Yeah, this where I lived in Florida, it was barely a town. Like everything was just being built. There was nothing there except for one gas station that had comic books, and then a shopping mall a little bit south. The shopping mall was in Newport Richey, not Port Richey, Newport Richey.
Well, you don't want to
Not
beat
old
the
Port
people
Richey.
in Port Richey.
Yeah. Who wants to
That's
hang
like
on
to
that?
pay the people in Bay, Ontario, not North Bay,
North Bay,
Ontario.
Ontario, or those East Bay assholes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, as always, reason like we said we like these because they have some intricate things that we really like, and just good storytelling. It's not a be all end all. It's just a good self-contained story that you can pick up and read. We like the ending. We like a lot of things about it. We'll go over kind of our top 5 things. Here we go. And the plot is basically you're thrown in the middle of it just like Spidey.
Yep.
He ends up getting in a fight and ends up running into Paladin, who's a mercenary for hire. And that's all we know until it really gets going.
Paladin. What do you think of Paladin? We'll just dive right into all this stuff.
So the top 5 things I like about this, one of them is all the good guys. We get a real summer epic thing, and you get a lot of side guys on this, and you get Paladin. I love Paladin, as an one-off character that shows up just doing things. He's got the purple puffy suit that stops people from punching him. He takes a formula so he can lift a ton. He has a stun gun that shoots a bunch of different things, and he's always involved in international intrigue. He wined and dined Janet Van Dyne one time. See how I did that? And dated her for a while. So
yeah, he around this time. I don't know if this was his first appearance in a little while, but around this time he starts making like semi-regular appearances in the Spider-Man books. Do you know when his first appearance was?
he makes an appearance in the early '80s Avengers.
Yeah, so his first appearance was in 1977.
Yeah.
In
77.
Daredevil issue number 150. And what I thought was interesting, so I read that issue or parts of that issue after I read this, and so one thing that happens, Spider-Man, like you said, accidentally bumps into Paladin, screws up Paladin's job. So Spider-Man, operating on guilt, which is Spider-Man's MO, feels like he has to help Paladin now get it right. So there's a scene where they're at a party, and then they have to leave, and afterwards Paladin's like, I need to go back and talk to that redhead, talk to Mary Jane. So in the first meeting with Daredevil, he's fighting Daredevil, and they're really fighting because they just met. They're not fighting because they're enemies. Like how heroes do, or superheroes do, I guess. But they fall through this wall and end up in this hotel room with two ladies, and Paladin just stops fighting and starts flirting with the ladies.
He's known.
It was like a callback. Yeah, he's known as a huge flirt, right?
So that's what happens with Janet Van Dyne. He's hired to find out something, and Janet Van Dyne's at I believe it's a casino in Monaco, and he ends up hitting on her while out of costume, and so they end up, going out on a couple dates together. So
yeah, and apparently I should read this too, but they make reference to Marvel Team Up 109, Spider-Man and Dazzler, where he first saw Paladin with his mask off. So I wonder if Paladin, tries to, get with Dazzler.
Most likely.
Most likely.
If it's a lady, I think Paladin's doing it. But we find out, Paladin's on the hot case of trying to get some information regarding a group called the Life Foundation that has something against Symkaria. Eventually, you get Silver Sable, finding out there's a threat to the crown royals of Symkaria, with people trying to assassinate them, hence the name Assassination Plot.
Yep.
And we get all the other characters that go through this with the good guys. We eventually get the terrorists fighting Solo, whose tagline is what, of course, K-Mac?
Oh, gosh, what is it? Solo lives, terror dies, or something like
That's
that?
That's it.
Yeah. That guy's the worst.
He's Punisher that can teleport.
Yeah, he's teleporting Punisher with floppy hair, just like Paladin is purple Punisher who likes ladies.
Yeah, well, at least Paladin's just doing it for the money, right? He doesn't have the vengeance. He doesn't want to kill people.
That's true. Yeah.
Whoever gave him a Solo is like, I like Punisher, but he's not going to kill all criminals, just terrorists.
Yeah,
and they're like, that's not different enough. He teleports.
Yes, and he dresses like, who does he dress like? He has an outfit that's almost like Gambit's.
Yes, it's green. It's all green.
Yeah, like, can I use the Punisher? No. Shoot, can I create a character that just kills terrorists? Maybe. Can he teleport? Yes, he can teleport.
Oh, hell yeah, he can. Although, as a kid, I really like Solo because, he's a Punisher. He's another Punisher, but he teleports.
Has guns and grenades.
And he has pouches everywhere.
Pouches everywhere. Paladin is like one big pouch, though.
Yeah.
That's just.
And eventually, since it involves a plot against Symkaria, which we find out they're trying to embroil and implicate that the USA was involved in killing eventually the Crown Prince of Symkaria by the CIA.
Right?
Yeah. We eventually come back around and we get Captain America in to exonerate the U.S. So you get a panoply of awesome characters here in bi-weekly issues out of nowhere that normally Spider-Man doesn't get involved in, because it's basically like a James Bond series where he's out and about going around the world because he stops off in New York, New Jersey, Symkaria.
New Jersey, yeah.
He doesn't go to South America, but the story does go to South America, and eventually does go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid, because as you're reading this and buying these Amazing Spider-Mans even before this, like, who Todd McFarlane is at this point. And on the you see, like, oh my goodness, Captain America next, and so I get to see Todd McFarlane draw Captain America. It was really exciting.
And you get to see all the coolness. When the covers on this just pop.
Right, the covers are great, and like all Todd McFarlane covers, they're all great. But there's a few on, we can talk about them later or now. But lots of good covers.
What balances out the good guys? Then what do we get for the bad guys? That's also awesome.
Yeah,
you get a roundup.
You do. There's a lot of like lesser bad guys, because in these stories you need people for Spider-Man to punch. Right, and to web up, but like you said, you get the Life Foundation that is somehow connected to this plot. You're not sure. You get the Protectors, who are mutated vigilantes or bounty hunters, right? They're
mutated people that the Life Foundation brings in to protect people because they were selling condos in New Jersey, survivalist condos, if the world goes to crap.
Underground survivalist condos. Weird.
And it has like a giant underground mall in New Jersey, maybe prettier than the other views of New Jersey.
Than the outside above ground malls in New Jersey. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But these guys are just like um, huge muscle guys, pretty much, and it looks like their hands can change, or like sometimes their hands are knives. Is that what I was
They
seeing?
look like the character Shape. You remember that guy?
That sounds familiar. They look, or like they look similar to Sunder, to that like
I'm trying to remember who
X-Men
Shape.
adjacent character.
So Shape was on. So Shape comes from, yeah, he's from the Champions universe, the Squadron Supreme universe. I'm sorry, he's the Plastic Man equivalent.
Oh yeah, yeah. They do look like him.
Yeah. So they all bubbly and weird looking and amorphous, kind of globular kind of looking things.
Yeah, yeah. They are a little similar to the Morlock Sunder, also, but
Yeah.
but but he's not as globulous as they are.
This is true. He's not as globulous.
Globulous. Globulous is in charge of Cobra Law.
This is true.
That is true. That is
We've
true.
covered this before.
Yeah, we have covered this before. And you need to read the new G.I. Joe stuff. So good.
I'm
So
too
good.
busy reading the Life Foundation, which
No,
this is kind of a G.I. Joe story
you're
here.
too busy reading Secret Invasion. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
So we got kind of a buildup of, the Life Foundation taking out people trying to kill Spider-Man, when we find out that the Life Foundation's ultimately working for Ultimatum.
A group of terrorists who look like Deadpool with
No, they have
cool white
berets.
jackets. They have berets and jackets.
They
But
have members-only jackets and berets
and berets.
and ski goggles and balaclavas.
Ski goggles over a white mask that covers their eyes, nose, and
The
mouth.
balaclavas that cover them. And they're the former people of Flag Smasher, so they want to create anarchy around the world. And they all carry Uzis and wear members-only jackets. That's how you can recognize they're an Ultimatum. Like, is that a silver Ultimatum jacket?
Yes,
Member
it
only,
is.
motherfucker.
It's me, not just for anyone. Hey, are they? So remember, Falcon and Winter Soldier? How there was that
Yes.
group that wanted that's kind of a similar MO, right?
Yeah. Well, the Flag Smasher. So they call them Flag Smashers in
And
the
Falcon and
TV
Winter
show,
Soldier.
but the
Yeah,
people that work for Flag Smasher in the comic books are Ultimatum.
gotcha. Okay, so that makes me like Falcon and Winter Soldier even less, because where were these guys, right?
You had the chance.
Go ahead. Yeah, they had the chance.
Yeah,
Members only jackets
to sell all the members only jackets out of storage at the costume department.
And because they're a terrorist organization, who could have been in Falcon and Winter Soldier? Whoever lives and who lives when
Solo
terror dies. Yeah, yeah. Imagine Solo in that book. I mean, in that show.
Finally.
It's what we've all been waiting for. They need a Solo. No, they don't. Sorry, but he would have been good in that show.
But my favorite is they all wear black berets.
Yeah, and otherwise they're all dressed in white, and
It's like
I
a
don't.
silvery white though, right?
Yeah, like and ski goggles over your
It's got to be hot if
face
they're
mask.
going anywhere that's warm, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I love them. I love them. They all carry Uzis. They're
They
so
do
80s.
carry Uzis, all Uzis, all the time.
And then we find out Ultimatum hires Sabertooth to be the assassin.
Yeah, and that's really cool. Now
That's the big twist I didn't expect, and I forgot it even now, going back and rereading it.
Oh, I remembered it, but what I remembered it being a lot cooler than it turned out to be.
Yes,
but it was still neat to see Sabretooth's character design then, and I like how Todd McFarlane did it. Was similar to the 70s Sabretooth. So this is like right before his Jim Lee redesign.
Where this is right after he's thought to be dead, right?
Yeah. This is right after the Marauders, and I guess the Fall of the Mutants,
And they mentioned that in the comic book that Captain America says, I thought he was just an assassin for the Marauders.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah. And he's saying this is where he ends up in South America, and he's extorting people. Mm-hmm. And they have a tease cover where you think it has Spider-Man's hand looking at a Sabertooth.
Yeah.
And you think Spider-Man's going to fight Sabertooth, but he doesn't. It ends up being Silver Sable and Captain America.
Captain America doesn't get to fight him because Silver Sable runs ahead and then has a building collapse on him, and they say, "Oh, he's dead," and they just leave him there. That's Sabertooth. He has a healing factor.
Mountain falls on you. But I found out why Spider-Man is on that cover, and the editor at the time, since they were working bi-weekly and they're working so far ahead, they had to do the comic covers like 2 months ahead.
Yeah, before
this is the issue Larsen actually draws. They gave covers to all the McFarlane. They just have the sketch of a storyline. It's like, oh yeah, there's a Sabertooth and Amazing Spider-Man. So McFarlane's like, well, obviously Spider-Man's gonna fight him.
Yeah.
And Salicrup felt bad afterwards, actually going, I don't like to, to tease that and not have it happen, but we were just, we're gonna be doing 2 weeks, 2 comics in a month is a fast pace. So
yeah,
they were just doing everything ahead of time they could. So, but it's a great cover.
It is a really good cover. Yeah. I was pumped again to see the cover, but I knew that he didn't really get to fight anybody. But it also could have been because there's a lot of talk, and I don't know if it's ever been resolved, but around that Marauders time, that there were just a bunch of Sabertooth clones around. So it's possible that could have even been a Sabertooth clone.
Possibly, because Mr. Sinister was just making clones.
Yep. Sinister loves his clones.
Of his Marauder team.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just like this wild yeast I'm drinking. It's wild, like a Sabertooth.
Yes.
It's really good. I've had it before. I've had this beer before, and it's one of the regular fancy beers that they make. I don't know if they still make it, but it's, in the prestige format. It is worth drinking.
Yeah. All right. Next time I'm up, we'll grab some.
So eventually, then we turn around and we end up getting to see like one watchdog. I don't think we see more than one watchdog guarding the National Archives.
Yeah, maybe 2.
Which is the neo-Nazi group run by the ultimate villain. We found out who's been orchestrating this whole thing, who appears on the cover of 265, and who's that, K-Mac?
That is the Red Skull, of course, Mr. Red Skull. Which also, he doesn't get to fight Captain America or Spider-Man. Interesting.
Well, he fights Spider-Man a little. Oh, they have a talk.
Yeah, they have a talk. They have a talk. Yeah. So it's interesting. And if you think about it, if this is about espionage and those sorts of intrigues, it's not necessarily a punch it out fight with the villains. But so back to the I like how the Watchdogs defeated the National Archives guards. Did you pick that up? It's like, yes. Oh my goodness. Watch out. National Archives guards.
Who else defeated the National Archives guards by himself? Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
The only person they could have brought in Spider-Man, but what they could have done is just brought in Nick Cage to stop the Watchdogs and everybody. I'm telling you.
But then it would have been so short, 2 pages, story's over. Much better with Spider-Man.
And as K-Mac has experienced when he's visited me in DC, every time I go to the National Archives and you get screened in, I always ask what happens if Nick Cage comes in, and they always give me a different answer. Some people say they have special Nick Cage protocols. Other people say he's turned away on site. He's no longer into the National Archives, or they shut down the whole facility and watch him the whole time because he's allowed in as a citizen, but they don't want anyone else around him to distract him from what's going to happen with Nick Cage. And I've considered doing an art project where I just go post things at the scanners of, have you seen this man and picture of Nick Cage outside the archives? Because it's the awesomest thing.
Yeah, he's a dangerous man.
He stole the Declaration of Independence. He used it to block the bullets.
I have never seen National Treasure.
You haven't? Oh
I haven't.
God. But why are you wasting your life?
I don't know.
It ties so well into the story. So
I need to put it on my list.
We're going on the story. So the other thing where they're trying to make Symkaria and U.S. go to war is Red Skull is going to disintegrate all the National Archives of precious documents and pretend like it's the Symkarians doing it.
Yep.
where you could have just hired Nick Cage and he could have stole them all for you, Red Skull.
Right. Or just
Easy peasy.
or just don't do it when Spider-Man's there. Like, do it 10 minutes before. I don't know. I'm just a hunch. I like how the Red Skull tries to buy Spider-Man, tries to bribe Spider-Man to be on his side. He's like, I will give you $1 million.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like, okay, interesting.
He got him to think for a second. He's like,
did. Oh,
your mask is
we need you
red.
have no
My mask
money.
is red.
Yeah.
This money's green.
Aunt May's stupid boyfriend needs a heart transplant still.
Yeah.
That's come up like 3 different times now.
Yeah. Well, that's a big time. That's a big issue in the McFarlane run is Aunt May's boyfriend who's moved in with him having the heart issue.
Yeah. So the coolest thing about Red Skull in the archives is like he has a secret passageway where he can get into the archives and like
anytime he wants,
and they checked it out and there's like none of them go anywhere. So he has he has a secret passage that he takes and there's some other secret passage in that secret passage that takes him wherever he needs to go.
This is covered in National Treasure 2.
Is it? All right.
The Book of Secrets by the President. Yeah, where he has secret passages.
Sweet.
We didn't know the president there was a Red Skull.
So I was trying to figure out like what is the Red Skull's next appearance after this book, and so I googled Red Skull appearances, and they don't have this book in his list of appearances, right? But the book that was released next after this appearance is an Acts of Vengeance book. So Acts of Vengeance started like shortly after this. So I wonder if like maybe Loki transported him to that spot.
Possibly,
because it would be a good Acts of Vengeance time. I think the next issue after this is an Acts of Vengeance issue because it's Spider-Man and Graviton, I think.
Or I just like the idea that Red Skull goes in at night and looks at the Bill of Rights.
Just hangs out, yeah.
You Bill of Rights, I hate you so much.
9.
All it is of the Second Amendment. You Third Amendment. You were stopping me from quartering soldiers.
Third Amendment still the most successful amendment.
Yes. Unbeaten.
Yep.
They had the Onion article come out this week of
Third
Amendment lobby group post successful 200th year. So we got all these good guys, we got all these bad guys in an espionage series, and of course we get Spidey being Spidey throughout the whole thing, which is really, really awesome. But he's being James Bond also, and we get to see the character interplay with him and Paladin, character interplay with him and Solo, in Captain America and Silver Sable the whole time, which is really cool. Paladin takes a serum. He can only lift 1 ton. So there's scenes where he's trying to flip over a truck and Spidey just comes by and flicks it with his finger and throws it over. Spidey picks up a frickin' tank.
He does. I was Solo. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah. And and Spidey at the beginning of this whole story, he's like updating his webbing. So his webbing is now like extra strong too. So he's like webbing people up, and he like one of the covers is him just holding a pile of Ultimatum guys like in what looks to be like a giant yarn ball of webbing. So
yes.
He's doing all that too. And Paladin, is like, okay, I'm glad you're here, I guess. But...
And the whole time, like the interplay with him and the Paladin, where they're tongue in cheek together, telling jokes. Where him and Solo he's like, "Don't kill anybody, Solo." And then Silver Sable, where he's like, "All right, I'll work for you because I need the cash," which is a constant theme in the McFarlane run of he'll take any odd job to make some money to support MJ,
and that comes and goes. Like I think throughout like the history of Spider-Man, he's always trying to like make a buck here and there because with great power comes great responsibility, not great cash.
Don't pay the bills.
Don't pay the bills. Yeah.
It's the one where he, you get him. I think one of the few times you get him and Captain America together alone. In his admiration for Captain America, and he plays up the fact that he doesn't consider himself a real American, just not a big true blue patriot. And then Captain America kind of inspires him.
Yeah.
He gets pissed off when he gets denied security clearance.
Oh yeah, boo. And this is around the time, like for people who haven't read like a lot of books from the 80s or even like a lot of books before the 2000s. Like Spider-Man had pretty limited interaction with other heroes during this time. I mean, he wasn't in the Avengers. There weren't a lot of team up books. Like, I mean, he teamed up periodically, but since this point, he was in the New Avengers with Captain America, so they had, plenty of stories together. But this is probably one of the very few like Captain America Spider-Man team ups up to this point.
Yeah, because in the 70s you had Marvel 2-in-1 where
Yeah.
he was teaming up with lots of people. That's
Yeah.
kind of the lead, kind of his venue, and they kind of did away with those.
Yeah, and they just and now characters appear in other characters' books all the time. But back then it wasn't. I mean, it was common, but it wasn't as common. You mostly had like you didn't have a character like Iron Man necessarily, or Captain America, or Thor, or the only character that appeared in other characters' books all the time was Wolverine, and that actually didn't start happening until much after this, because while Chris Claremont was writing X-Men, he didn't really let Wolverine do that.
This is true. Yeah.
And Wolverine, you stay home.
You leave everybody else alone, Wolverine.
Yeah.
But no, you get Spidey being Spidey with all those characteristics, and then you get the backstory of, he's newly married to MJ, or they're married, right? Yeah, they're married.
Yeah.
This is where she's not no longer a supermodel, and she's trying to make ends meet. They're living with Aunt May and Aunt May's boyfriend, and they're going to move into a loft. So you get all the hardness of life of Spider-Man while you're going through the intrigue of international espionage, assassination of royals, and destruction of national documents of the National Archives.
Yeah,
it's just really well done, and you get probably one of the greatest scenes ever drawn with Spider-Man wearing a tuxedo
at
a royal ball.
Yes,
at a royal ball.
So that's why these books are masterpiece comics theater appropriate, because you got to be dressed up. Like, we're in tuxes right now.
Yes.
We got our masks on too, but yeah,
some of us are
one
wearing tails, some of us are not.
Yes, well, we have tuxes on waist up.
Yes.
Tails too. Waist up, tuxes, mask, party on the bottom.
Perhaps. But probably one of the single greatest drawings of Spider-Man ever is him having to go to a fancy royal ball where he's hired by Silver Sable to be protection, and since it's a ball, he's got to wear an outfit that's appropriate, but he's still wearing his costume underneath.
Yeah, and honestly, like, that's a really different place to put Spider-Man. They usually, he travels as Peter Parker, and they talk about this in the book too. Like, it's rare that he has to go somewhere like that and be Spider-Man, and he can't be Peter Parker. So he was saying he has to sleep in his costume. He has to do everything in his costume. And I bet that costume fucking smelled bad.
It's a stinky costume.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he doesn't have the proportionate non-sweating strength of a spider, right?
I don't think so. No.
He still sweats like a human.
Yeah. Sweats like ugh.
So those are three. One of the fourth ones is MJ. This is as young teenage boys.
Yeah.
This was the height of Mary Jane Watson Parker and Todd McFarlane drawing her like a supermodel. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because you kids back in the day, we didn't have the internets.
No, we didn't have the internet. We had MJ and we had Psylocke.
This is and they weren't real people.
They were not.
They were just the whim of whoever was drawing them. And wow's the redheads. So she has workout clothing on. She goes to acting things. She goes to soirees, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and the Erik Larsen drawn issue, they have her in lingerie. Did you see that? Like, okay.
Comics you think I forgot that?
Comics Code is sleeping on the job, but no blood. There's no blood in the issue.
Yeah. You think I forgot that?
Now that's the one that's pinned up on your wall.
No, yeah. I still hide it underneath between
The
the
mattress, the
mattresses.
box
What are you
spring.
talking about? I can't have that one exposed.
Hey, so on the Erik Larsen issue, no, actually on after the Erik Larsen issue in the last issue, did you notice on the first page that McFarlane drew on that next issue, on the left corner, there's a whole bunch of writing, and it actually says that Todd McFarlane will no longer be drawing Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, this is this. I remember this
This
was
is
the
his last
one
issue.
before he goes on to establish Spider-Man because he wanted to also write Spider-Man. And I
Yeah,
remember that this was the one that was like, yeah, this is the transition over to. This is right when I started collecting
yeah,
Amazing Spider-Mans and Spider-Man.
yeah. I thought that was
So,
interesting because you can't read all of it, but it does say like McFarlane will no longer be doing Amazing Spider-Man.
which was a huge deal because this
Yeah,
is where like we want to keep you, Todd.
yeah,
We're gonna pay you. What do you want to do? And he's like, I want to write my own comic book and run. I want to run the whole show on it. And
yeah.
that became just Spider-Man the comic, which sold gabillions of
Yeah,
issues
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
multiple different formats that we all
yeah.
have
A bazillion.
different
Yeah,
variant covers of.
yeah. Silver, gold. What is there?
Green,
Red? Is there
red.
green? Oh yeah, I don't have the
Yeah,
green. Do you have the green?
I have the green. I have the
Oh
black. I have the black original, and yeah, I think the green.
yeah, I have this. I have a couple of the silvers and I have one of the golds.
The black being the silver, the same. Yeah, the
Yeah,
same as
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I think those are the only ones I have. But then I have a bunch of the other books. I have like some. I don't know. K-Mac was thinking. Little K-Mac was thinking about investing, so little K-Mac bought multiple copies of all of those issues.
Still in
Uh,
polybags.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't meet the number of Midnight Suns #1 in polybags that I have.
Uh, I have the Midnight Suns promo poster.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
that actually is probably worth more than the Midnight Suns
It
polybag
might
number.
be. I'll dig it out and show you sometime. I have to dig out these issues to take pictures for the Instagrams and stuff. So I'll probably find it when I do that.
But this is also MJ at the time. She's basically a comic book version of Cindy Crawford.
Yeah,
That yeah, basically was the it girl of the late '80s, early '90s. Like just like stop you in the tracks. Pretty at the time, teenage boys were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know if we have anyone since then. I mean, I think after that, maybe Angelina Jolie hit that kind of level of pretty for people.
I mean like
Maybe,
a Cindy Crawford style. You mean?
yeah. Of the it supermodel
Mm.
definition of this is the prettiest woman on the planet kind of thing.
I mean, I think.
Spokesmodel for everything.
Oh yeah, true. I think maybe in the late '90s it might have been like Jennifer Aniston was like that. Maybe I don't know.
She got close, and yeah, I think Angelina
Yeah,
Jolie was probably maybe the last. I'm trying to think if
yeah,
there's anyone else. I don't know if you want to say one of the Kim Kardashian got to that kind of, as
yeah.
a
I think
promoter
that's
of things. I don't
yeah.
know.
That might be different, but yeah, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Um,
Like every ad campaign is like, can we afford Cindy Crawford to advertise for us? Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely that way in the late '80s for sure. There's like she was advertising clothes, makeup, soda,
Pepsi.
everything. Pepsi.
Yeah.
It was Pepsi.
She
Yeah,
single handedly closed the gap between Pepsi and Coke, I think.
yeah, yeah. It was an interesting time, but yeah, I mean, little K-Mac was like, I like MJ. All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't know any pretty redheads like that.
No.
You hit the jackpot, Tiger. And of course, the final thing is we got to talk about that Todd McFarlane art.
Yeah.
The quintessential Spider-Man. Like we already talked about how he changed the popularity of comic books and art and comics. But why was it so good? And I went back and read it and looked at it. It's you know it's known for being really intricate on certain things, but then if you look at, there's a lot of clean lines on
Yeah.
everything else. Like Spider-Man's webbing goes everywhere, but there's lots of clean, good, crisp, no waste of space. So like the cover of 26 what number is it? 320. Cover 320 is, Paladin's really clean and everything. Yeah, the webbing is crazy, but Spider-Man's always kind of in a, interesting position.
Yeah.
But it's just really crisp, and the covers are amazing. Just yeah.
Yeah, all the covers are amazing. If you had to pick your favorite, which one's your favorite?
I'm torn between the ball with all the Ultimatum guys and the Red Skull one with the Capitol burning in the background, the tattered flag, and the Red Skull smoking a cigarette. Those, because they pop so much in
Yeah.
those.
I'm between the 322, like you said, the him holding the ball with all the Ultimatum guys, and 324, the Sabertooth cover.
And the Sabertooth cover also, yeah,
They're all
they're
really
all
good.
they're all really good. Yeah.
I wonder if McFarlane, because we talked about this earlier, he's the artist, but he's also like the inker. I wonder if like his shit was just so complicated that they were like, you're gonna have to ink this yourself too. You know,
Yeah.
because like all like you said, like the even like the webbing is so intricate, right?
Yeah.
Like inking that, I'd be like, oh fuck. Like,
Fucking dick.
no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. DeFalco, sorry, not doing it.
Get somebody else to. My hands are already black. Can't do it anymore. Now, one of the things that he's known for, McFarlane, in his Amazing Spider-Man covers, he always hit a Spider-Man logo.
Oh,
Were you
really?
able to?
I
What?
didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Were you able to find all? You didn't know that? Yeah, he
No,
hides
I
a
swear I didn't know
small
that.
spider. You didn't know that up till just now?
Just now, yeah, I never heard that before.
Yeah, he hides a spider in all of them. I couldn't find one. I found all of them but 320 and 323. Or yeah, 323. I had to stare a whole lot at Captain America's crotch, and I still couldn't find it. I don't think 320 has one because he has a Felix the Cat in it. He also hides Felix the Cat and things. So
I've
there's a
heard
Felix the Cat
that
in
I've
320.
heard that now that you maybe
Yeah.
he does either or.
But I couldn't find it in 323 either. And I've
Oh,
literally stared. I've never stared so much at Captain America's crotch trying to find it. But you didn't know he hides a
no, I
spider
didn't know.
logo, a little spider in every issue. That was what I think it was
Oh,
starting in three something 308 or something. He started doing that. Really well known. So yeah, usually it's
like
on the ground or in the smoke.
he hides the chest logo.
Yeah, like yeah, the spider. Well, it looks kind of like the chest logo. Yeah, and the hard ones is he'll do their inverse. So instead of just being solid black, he'll do an inverse where it's like just the outline that
Oh
you find.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, shoot, I didn't know that, but now I'm gonna be staring at all these forever.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I swear.
What you didn't listen to the fat nerd guy at your comic book shop? No, what's so cool about this is they got the Spider Man and Spider in there
No,
and everywhere.
I did hear about the Felix the cat though. That
Yeah.
that is something I've heard. I forgot about it, but I've heard that before.
But I can't find the one that there's not there's a Felix in 320 and
Mm.
323. I can't find it either. Literally
All right,
was
I will.
driving my brain nuts to try to find it.
Yeah,
I
I'll pull
assume it's
that
in
out
there
once.
somewhere.
Yeah,
And there's no website dedicated to just identifying all the locations and all the covers.
people are just slackers these days. Like,
Yes.
come on,
gotta get
kids.
gotta get the kids out there. But yeah, look, just to give you an example, there's like on the ground in the Ultimatum cover, you can see it. It's 322, right?
Yeah, 322 is the Ultimatum cover. Is it like in
So
this
yeah,
in the rock on the ground or?
yeah. If you let me see if I can find open image new tab. Yeah, if you can look under one of the rocks on the ground, I think that's where it is. Yeah,
I had to look at
it's
this
just yeah.
now.
I had to put them up on my computer, yeah, on the pad to find them.
Yeah, let's see. It's hard to find. Yeah, it's hard to find a cover where you can zoom in proper
Yeah,
online here. Yeah, but I'll have to. I will. Yeah, I'm gonna pull all these out and check for spiders.
yeah. I'm just blown away that you did not know this.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
usually it's something that doesn't distract from the main thing, but you're
Yeah.
looking for it, and usually in smoke or in the web of a bend of a fabric or on the ground. That's usually the ones that you go for. Like I can't I'm blown away that UK Mac did not know this about you.
Yeah, crazy, crazy. Well, that's good. Learn something new every day.
So you got to get out your old comics now and go on the hunt.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to pull these out anyway, for Instagram pictures. So I'm going to pull out all the Todd McFarlane. It's going to be a stack like that high.
I can't wait till you show it to your kids. Look, there's a spider. There's a
Hey,
spider.
look, it
There's
looks
a
like
hidden
God.
spider.
It looks like God is here.
Can you believe it?
And I'm like, okay, I'm going back
Dad,
to
this is
college. I'm going back to
40
college now, Dad.
freaking years old. What are you talking about?
I know.
Crazy asshole. Like,
Yeah,
do we need to put him in the home yet?
it's coming to that. It's coming to that. Getting there soon. As long as the home has tap room, I'm okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, the tap room and good Wi-Fi. We're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the art, this is really at the height of McFarlane's, buzz, because he was enough
Yeah.
to move from amazing the mainline comic to being able to create his own comic where they're like, yeah, do whatever hell you want. Go do that. And that only lasts, a year basically, and then he goes on to help found Image
Yeah,
afterwards.
I
And
was going to
then,
say it lasts like 15 issues or something, maybe.
yeah. And then becomes, multi-billionaire enough to buy Barry Bonds' Ball, the
Yeah.
Spawn thing takes off for him. Yeah. Which is pretty, meteor arc.
Yeah, for a comic book artist, for
Yes.
sure. I mean, and he really, like, today, he only does Spawn, and he does it, periodically. Like, although lately, in the last 2 years, they've really, like, upped the Spawn game, because Spawn hit issue 300, I believe. So then they started introducing all these alternate versions of Spawn. But, yeah, I haven't really read much Spawn. I think I have issue number 1 of Spawn, and that's it.
Yeah, I read the first year or so, yeah. So I haven't.
Yeah, I only have issue
And I
number
watched the movies, I watched the cartoons, but yeah.
I haven't. I think I've seen part of the first movie, but I never watched the cartoon.
With the first movie, you realize CGI really gets dated.
Yeah, I bet.
You go back and watch it. It's the reason the original Star Wars is so much better than new Star Wars, because you can't beat people in costumes, really.
Yeah, exactly. You can't beat the natural special effects.
No. Practical effects. They call them practical effects.
Proper.
But no, throughout this, the McFarlane, like I said, top of his game. The webbing goes everywhere. Just the poses on Spider-Man alone, like, even off camera, the getting to see him draw Captain America for the first time, Silver Sable,
Yeah, we haven't talked
Paladin
about
solo.
Silver.
I don't know if he liked any Paladin or solo, but he really draws them really well. They're really fun to see. So
yeah, I agree. And what you're saying about Spider-Man poses, Spider-Man is always in the weirdest poses. There's one where he's standing sideways on a statue, where it's just that places people never really put Spider-Man before. But Spider-Man's always, he's swinging weird, his legs above his head, all this crazy stuff. And
the one thing he plays up is that Spider-Man can stick to anything, so why wouldn't he have a weird looking stance always? Being able to move, like when you don't move in 2 dimensions on the ground anymore, when you can move 3 dimensions in the room, why wouldn't you always be doing that?
Yeah, right. That's
when
for sure.
your power allows you to do that, which fills the space much more interesting. So
yeah. Anything else about Todd McFarlane? Because I want to ask you about something different.
no, go ahead.
So we didn't touch on Silver Sable very much.
Well, that's what I was going to bring in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk more about Silver Sable?
We probably should talk a little bit about Silver Sable, who's probably one of the driving characters in this story. You're a pretty big Silver Sable fan, right?
I had the Silver Sable series, Silver Sable in the Wild Pack subscription at my local comic book shop. Yes. Nice. I had the Silver Foil original first one.
I have that one too. I don't know how many other ones I have. I feel like I have a list of my comic books somewhere. So yeah, I have that one. It was Silver Sable and the Wild Pack. That's what that series was called specifically, right?
Yes.
And
The
now, what
Wild
do you?
Packers are her group of mercenaries that
Yeah,
go on to do mercenary things around the world,
and they're
which is
referenced.
the foundation of the Semkarian economy.
Yeah,
Mercenaries.
assassins, mercenaries. Yeah.
We're
Um,
mercenaries.
so they make reference to the Wild Pack in this story, but they don't show them. They just show them shadowed.
They show them in Semkaria a little bit when they get attacked by Ultimatum. They do show them. They strangely look exactly like the Watchdogs.
Yeah, I
Sadly,
was gonna say.
they indiscriminately, since they are both based on dogs, I guess. they Marvel's like, you got to wear the same costume.
Funny.
That's how people know you're dog based. You got to wear puffy chest with the big shoulder pads going into a V, purple and beige. That's what you got to wear.
Yep, that's the outfit. We're all gonna wear it. We're all gonna be
Yeah.
happy about it.
We're agreed on this? Yes, we're agreed on this.
Yes. Yeah. So the only Silver Sable and the Wild Pack issue I have is number 1. But
Are you looking at your own database that you have of your comics?
I'm looking at my own database that I have, and so the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, right? So issue number 1, I have looks like 2 or 3 copies. Issue number 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. I have 2 copies each. Interesting. Good for
What
me.
program do you use to make your comic book database?
I
Is it
just did it.
online?
I just did it in on like a Google sheet.
Okay.
And then
So it's basically Excel.
for Amazing Spider-Man 318 was a McFarlane. I have 2 copies. 320 I have 2 copies. 322, 323 I have 2 copies. Also 346, which isn't a McFarlane issue, but all the other ones are. Cha-ching! Not really, but sure.
But overall, great series, a fun
It's a fun read.
six comic read.
Yeah.
It's easy to read on
It's
the
not
app.
too long. It's the right number of issues for sure. Like if it was any longer, it would probably not be as good, I would say.
No. It moves quick. It came out bi-weekly. It's meant to be read quick.
Yeah.
It rates up there with the Bloodstone Hunt as that kind of storytelling, fun yarn that you should really go pick up. Really, you can read it in one sitting with your favorite 500 milliliter beer, like my Baron Corvo, or a couple of bottles of Bobolina,
Yeah.
which is the perfect setting for reading a comic with beer, man. I'm telling you. Get your fancy beer, sit down and read some Assassin Nation plot.
Yeah. I agree. Fun read, quick read, good art, good story, not too serious, right? Like there's mysteries, but it's just like, oh, guess what? Off panel, we solved this mystery.
Yes.
Now we're gonna
Yeah.
go find Sabertooth, and and Spider-Man ends up like we talked about, just kind of accidentally happening into the Red Skull and thwarting his main plot.
Yeah, it's a Batman movie. It's a Bond movie, not a Batman comic. It's not, we're not detecting things.
Yeah,
We're bonding. Yeah.
yeah. Good stuff. I'm happy we
Yes.
read this. It's something that, I haven't read since the first time I've read it. What about you?
Yeah, it's the first time in a few years that I've read it. I think I've read it 3 times. This is
Damn.
When the app came back out, I read it again.
That's right. You have it under your mattress anyway, so
Yes.
it's pretty easy to get to.
It's ready to go.
Ready to go. Refrain from other jokes. Like, does the pages still turn okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What? Hey,
Yeah. You're careful.
I have a system. Ain't gonna damage a valuable comic with McFarlane Art.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Keep those things safe. One day, so what these comics are 30 plus years old at this point, right? That's
Yes.
good. That's good. They can survive a long time under mattresses.
Yeah. Hey, keeps them pressed and clean.
Yeah, it does. Nice and pressed. It's like getting them pressed before you get them graded
Yes.
under a mattress. But
So, as another service I offer, if you want it before you get your comics graded, you can send them to me, and I'll put them underneath my mattress next to my run of McFarlane Spider-Mans.
Yeah, one of the mistakes I probably made is I got Spawn #1 graded because it's really not worth much money. But I was like, oh, this my copy was like almost perfect, and I was like, we'll get this pressed too, sure. And I was gonna just send it to you, to press it because it pressed and came back as a 9.6, which is good. But I was hoping to get like one more
9.8, yeah,
9.8,
or perfect,
yeah. And I don't know why it wasn't. I don't like those motherfuckers. Like,
they just make up stuff at the comic rating thing.
They do. Yeah. They're down in Sarasota.
That's where they are.
That's where they're based out of Sarasota. Yeah.
I don't get the thing about the grading. You never get to look at it again. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at it on the app.
But no, it's not the same, man.
True. But
it's just not the same.
It's not the same. Not the same. Just got to use your imagination. Just keep it up here. Use your imagination.
I can't flip back and forth. Well, we had some wonderful beers chatting with you, everybody out there, talking a great masterpiece comic book theater comic, enjoying some fancy beers. If you like what you heard, you can email us at cbcopodcast@gmail.com. Like what we post on X and Twitter at cbco_podcast, or like the pictures that we're going to put up of MJ on comic_cold ones.
There'll be we love our collages.
Yeah, they are going to be as good as the Instagram girls you see out there.
Yes.
So.
And thank you everyone for listening. We really enjoy doing these episodes. It's a great excuse for us to just drink some beers. So join us next month, which is December, hopefully, for our 12 days of Something Miss.
Indeed.
Bublina.
Pip pip. Good night.